We've all been there, right? That moment of just pure, overwhelming emotion from a child that feels totally impossible to navigate. Well, today we're going to break down a really simple but, wow, powerful tool from Focus Kids that uses puppets to explain the most complex thing we all own, our brain. I mean, seriously, think about that. How do you explain a tantrum to a toddler? How do you give a little kid the words for something they feel like they can't even control? It can feel like trying to explain quantum physics to a puppy. But what if the answer was actually as simple as telling a story?
So first things first, why even bother trying to explain the brain to a kid? It sounds kind of complicated, but it turns out this goes way deeper than just a cute puppet show. It's really about building a foundation for emotional intelligence that can last a lifetime.
Okay, it really boils down to this. You're creating a common language. So when a child can say, "My guard dog is barking," instead of just screaming, everything changes. You've just turned a moment of total conflict into a chance for connection. You've given the feeling a name, and as we all know, giving it a name is the very first step to taming it.
And the goals here, they're actually pretty huge. We're teaching kids about their brain's team and how they, the kid, can be the boss. But check out that fourth point. This is for the adults too. When we understand the why behind a meltdown, it helps us find just a little more patience, a little more compassion. It's a total win-win.
All right, let's meet the team. We're about to take some really complex neuroscience and turn it into 3 simple, memorable characters who are running the show inside all of our heads. First up, we've got the CEO, the big boss, the prefrontal cortex, or PFC. This is the part of your brain right behind your forehead. It's the thoughtful, rational planner. It's also the part that's still under construction until you're about 25 years old, which, explains, well, a lot.
So in this story, the PFC is brought to life as the wise owl. And I think this is just such a perfect fit, right? Owls are always seen as thoughtful, observant, and wise. And that's exactly the role of our brain's leader.
So here's what the wise owl has to say for himself. This simple little script gives the PFC a real personality. And I love this. The fact that he admits he's not fully grown up yet is such a brilliant way to explain to a child why, sometimes, they really struggle with big feelings and decisions. Next up on the team is the hippocampus. You can think of this part as the brain's librarian, or its archivist. It takes absolutely everything that happens to you, every single sight, sound, and feeling, and it carefully files it away for later.
And how they represent this? It's genius, really. What animal is famous for its memory? An elephant, of course. So let's meet Miss Elefante, the puppet for our hippocampus. And just like the saying goes, she never, ever forgets. And what's so great about this is how it all comes back to teamwork. Miss Elefante remembers the past, which helps our wise owl make much better decisions for the future. You see? When they're working together, the brain is this amazing, well-oiled machine. And finally, we get to the most, let's say, impulsive member of the team, the amygdala. This is your brain's alarm system. It's tiny, but it's incredibly powerful, and its one and only job is to scan for danger and keep you safe. And a perfect puppet for this job? A loyal but very, very loud guard dog. It's always on high alert, ready to bark at the first sign of trouble, and it doesn't care if that trouble is a real actual threat or, just a dropped ice cream cone. The personality here is absolutely key. The guard dog isn't bad, he's just trying to do his job. He barks when you're scared or sad or angry. He's the source of those huge, sudden emotional reactions. And for a kid, learning that this isn't some bad part of them, but just a part that's trying to protect them, well, that's incredibly validating.
Okay, so we've got our team, the wise owl, Miss Elefante, and the guard dog. They're all there, trying to work together. But what happens when they get out of sync? What happens when that protective bark just gets a little too loud?
This is what they call a brain hijack. And man, does the puppet show make it crystal clear. When the guard dog gets all worked up, he metaphorically jumps on top of the other 2 puppets. Suddenly, the wise owl can't think straight, and Miss Elefante can't pull up any calming memories. The guard dog is in complete control. Sound familiar? Yep, that's a tantrum.
So we have a hijack situation. The guard dog is barking his head off, and the rest of the team is totally offline. How in the world do we restore order? How do we calm that guard dog down so the wise owl can get back to doing his job?
The number one tool is also the simplest one, our breath. Here you see Miss Elefante demonstrating a deep belly breath. And listen, this isn't just a cute idea. Deep breathing is one of the fastest ways to fire up our body's rest and digest system, which is what directly calms down that fight or flight response. It's real science.
The real power here is just how simple this is. It's a physical action a child can actually do to change how their body feels. You're not just telling them to calm down. You're giving them a concrete instruction on how to do it. It's a game changer.
And you know what? Breathing is just the beginning. The whole method uses a calm-down basket full of tools, and the key is that they're all sensory-based. They engage the body to help calm the mind. Like watching a glitter jar settle is a visual for how our thoughts can settle. A pinwheel gives you physical proof that you're breathing. Each tool is like another anchor for a child to regain that feeling of control.
And this all leads up to the biggest, most important takeaway from this entire lesson. This isn't just about stopping a tantrum in the moment, it's about building a skill that will last a lifetime.
Ultimately, this is all about agency. Big emotions can make a kid feel so powerless, like they're just being swept away by a giant storm. These tools, these are their anchor. They teach a child that, hey, while you can't always stop the storm from coming, you can absolutely learn how to navigate the waves.
And we're going to end on this because what a powerful, incredible message to give a child. Not that their emotions are bad or that they are bad for having them, but that they have a team inside their head and that they are the boss.
They can learn to understand their team, take care of them, and lead them well.